Logos features a number of ways to search in a biblical text, along with resources that help parse out the search results. The easiest way to do this is to simply right-click on a word and search for it, but there are a number of details that can help fine-tune the search even further. Today we will look at the right-click menu, different tagging options, and how to perform a lemma search. When you are in your ESV, or most other Bibles, and you right-click on a word, a menu will pop up. So I'm going to click on the word pray in Matthew 5:44. The menu that pops up is two-toned. On the left, it's white. On the right, it's gray. And you'll see right now, it's got this word highlighted. If I click to another, it'll go with me. And you'll see on the left is dynamic. Based on what I click on the right, the left changes. So we've talked about these top three before, but just for a reminder, these are the English level. So if I just want to search the word pray in English, I'd click the top selection. If I want to do the phrase your enemies and pray, I'd click there. This is actually the Greek phrase, your enemies and pray. Or if I want to do the reference, I'd do Matthew 5:44. And then you'll see there's this little line here, and what's below the line is actually our options that dig more into the metadata in Logos. So these first three options are the manuscript, the lemma, and the root. The manuscript, this is the Greek or Hebrew word as it was in the manuscript that they're going from. So this is the word that's here is exactly the same as what's down in the reverse interlinear. This is the word itself that's in the text at that point. So if I were to search the manuscript, it would only look for that exact word. The next option, the lemma, so this word pray, it's a verb. The next option, the lemma, would move me back into the verb. It's the lexical level. If I were to look in a lexicon for this word, I would see this word, which is pray. I would see the lemma here, where the manuscript is how I would search for the exact word in the tense, the people, the mood, the aspect, all of those things. And the lemma, it broadens it to search any time this verb is used in any tense, any number of people. It works the same with nouns. It's looking for that word, but in the broader sense of that word, anything that would be that word. So if I'm in, this is a verb, it wouldn't find any nouns that are from the same root unless I went to the root search. With the root search, so for pray, I could say I'm going to pray for that, or someone could reference the Lord's Prayer. Prayer is a noun, and pray would be a verb. Those come from the same root, and so they would both be found in this search. There's also below, there's an option for morphology, and this actually searches for, it doesn't search for the word, but for instance, I'm searching a verb here, it would search for all of the grammar tags. It's a verb, it's in the present tense, it's in the middle or passive voice, it's single, it's plural. It would search those things, masculine, feminine, and it would search any verbs that are in that same style or in that same grammatical way. Below that we have Strong's, Louw-Nida, we have the Bible Sense, we have a number of options. The one that we think is most useful most of the time is going to be the lemma search. And so I'm going to click on that. And we think this is one of the better ones for making observations in the text as you start up. And so I've got it selected. And now I want to search this resource. So when I click search this resource, it's searching through my ESV Bible, and it's going to find any result of pray. Now, as you look down, you'll notice that I'm in Matthew. It's also giving me results from Mark, Luke. It's giving me any instance where this Greek word occurs in the New Testament. And I want to practice good biblical theology, so I want to just look at Matthew. To do that, if I click on all passages and type in Matthew, hit enter, now I just have Matthew. I could also, if I wanted to narrow it down further, I could do just the Sermon on the Mount and hit enter, and now it will just give me those from the Sermon on the Mount. I'm going to keep it to Matthew for now. Now, there's other options. We're in the verses option. There's also the aligned option, which lets you see it different. And then there's the analysis option, which gives you a whole list of things that you can look through. We will definitely look at this one later because there are a lot more ways that you can really hone in on different words and different ways they're being used. But for now, we're going to stick with the verses. And I just want to show you one other cool feature in Logos. So I'm making sure I'm searching all of Matthew. You can actually quickly graph your results. And so if I do that, it shows me, and I'd rather do a column. You can do all these different ways to do it. I'm going to do a column. And you'll notice right away, it just tells me the number of results in a book per 1,000 words in the book. So it normalizes it based on how many words are in the book. If I was going to search across books, that would be useful. But if I click up here, I can actually go and I can choose, I can start with number of results per chapter, and I can see that there's 6 in Matthew 6, there's 5 in Matthew 26, and then there's 1 a few times. Now, this is one way to do it. We think it's better to do it with the number of results in a chapter per 1,000 words in the chapter. The reason for this is because the chapters aren't all the same lengths, and so this can be misleading on its own, especially since we see discourses crossing chapters. And so if I click on number of results in chapter per 1,000, you'll notice that Matthew 6 now stands out a lot more than Matthew 26. And so if I were to want to start looking for what does Matthew have to say about prayer, Matthew 6 might be a great place to start for that. So the search tools in Logos can help us take our study of the text to deeper levels. We can quickly trace themes, and we can make observations on a macro level that would have taken a great deal of time before Logos became available. Imagine flipping through all those books and trying to find all the different words. But I'd encourage you to spend some time practicing searches and make sure you're familiar with all the different options and the different ways you can narrow or widen your search menus.